Welcome back to another video here at DFD Mastery. If this is your first time here, welcome. I understand that one of the main struggles real estate investors have all across the country is consistently finding deeply discounted properties, and it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be discouraged. We share our Driving for Dollars marketing system with you. We have a free webinar. You can check it out in the show notes. Sign up and I'll see you there live. But on today's show, we're actually going to talk about something a little different. Normally, we just talk about real estate investing. We're going to talk about more personal things. If you guys like this video, comment, hit like, let us know that you like it, and we can create more content like this. So today we're going to talk about one of the number one problems or probably the number one problem that we've struggled with since we've been married for how long?
9 years.
9 years.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, about 9 years. And it's been an incredible experience being married, but we struggled with something, and we finally came to a solution about 6 months ago. And perhaps other people have had the same problem, and we thought it would be a very good topic to help people. So, yeah. So what's our problem that we have?
So I think every couple, is a normal thing, right? When you get married or you start living with someone, you have to share finances. So I think the main reason why we fought about money is because Zach is a provider in our family, and I stay at home with the kids most of the time. Just last year, I started working for him a couple days a week, but it's not like I get anything extra. I'm just here helping. Like, he's the head of our finances. And I think that sometimes I would have to, in my mind, I would have to kind of like, if I wanted something, I would have to go and ask. Like, and he would have this mentality that I make all the money, so it's my saying is my decisions. And I feel like he would never come to me and be like, hey, here's this certain amount for you to go to Target and buy things for the house, because it's mostly what I do with our money. I buy things for the house because I want a nice house. And I felt like he didn't care if, we had a welcome rug or decorations and
like, why'd you buy this welcome
stuff.
rug?
Yeah.
How much was that?
And so I feel like I would say to him, you don't care about if our house looks good, and you don't care if our kids are wearing cute clothes, and I do. So we need to find a way to make this work. Yeah.
Well, for me, I had great parents that taught me to provide for myself from a young age. And so I learned to be super frugal. I had to be. And as I made more money, I wanted to reinvest that money. I wanted to generate more wealth and more freedom, because there's so much emotional pressure that I felt as being the provider. And so I believe that I did come across selfish to Karen for a lot of years. And I didn't communicate well for a lot of years and share my feelings. So it all started when I read a book called Improving Your Marriage Without Talking About It. And I was able to communicate better with Karen, and I was able to see some of my own inner insecurities and fears and overcome them because of that book. And so that book really just helped me improve. It wasn't about improving our marriage. Our marriage improved because it helped me improve. It helped me change. And we both love each other. Yeah, we did both read it. But we both love each other. We both read it, and we both worked on ourselves. But ultimately, changing myself is really what changed the marriage, right? And being able to communicate better. And the interesting thing was when I sat down with her, I took her out to a nice dinner. Mm-hmm. And I was able to express myself and talk to her, and she was able to share things that she felt like she couldn't share with me before, and it was a wonderful experience. But one of the main struggles, like she said, was fighting over money and fighting over how we spent money, and I'd get mad because she would spend $25 on a rug, and I would never do that.
Much more than that, not just $25. Sometimes I knew he wouldn't check the credit card, like our finances and stuff, so sometimes I wouldn't even ask, because my thinking is, well, we're a team. He's working, but it's also my money, and I want to make the house nice. So it's something for us. It's not like I'm buying clothes for myself and shoes and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
you look at my closet and you don't see that many clothes. It's just mostly stuff for the house. And so sometimes I wouldn't even ask, and then sometimes he would be like, "Let's do our finances," and I would freeze, like, "Okay,"
And be like, oh crap.
yeah. And so I was like, "Okay, let's do our finances," you know. And then he'd be like, "What is this? Why'd you buy a Target? Why is there a $200 transaction?" And I'd explain, and he's like, "But you didn't talk to me." It's like, "But it's my money too."
The main concept is we were at war, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were at war with each other on
Yeah.
how we spent the money, and our visions weren't aligned. And the funny thing is, it didn't matter. So I've been an entrepreneur for years, and our income is 10 times, 100 times, like since the beginning, for sure. And so it was interesting that it didn't matter how much more money we made, we were still at war, right? So there's actually a great book I'm reading right now, Waking the Giant Within, Tony Robbins. And there's this section here that I highlighted. It said, yep, most of us experience financial pressures on an ongoing basis. And we fantasize that having more money would relieve that pressure. This is a grand cultural delusion. Let me assure you that the more money you have, the more pressures you're likely to feel. The key is that not mere pursuit of wealth, but changing your beliefs and attitudes about it is so you see it as a means of contribution, not the end all and be all for happiness. And so, the more money I made, the more I wanted to invest, the more I wanted to grow it, the more I wanted to be able to not be worried about providing for my family, because I take that responsibility very seriously. And I felt like Karen was just spending and trying to undermine all my hard work and my sacrifices that I was making for the family. And she felt like I was being selfish, and basically inside of her accusing me of what I was accusing her of. And so we were at war wanting the same things, right?
In my head, we never had this much money, and when are we gonna start living? You know what I mean? Because we're always like saving, and so yeah, it's a hard one.
So we read a book called Profits First, and it's really helped us kind of button down how we want to, how we were able to overcome this inner fight between us. And sometimes it was an outright fight, frustrated and verbally talking to each other, very frustrated, crying, sometimes, playing the silent treatment, psychological warfare for sure. But the way we overcame is we read the book called Profits First, and in there it gives an example of a lady that, a single mom who provided for her family. And the way she did that, she had multiple coffee pots. And when she would get paid, she would distribute her money between the different coffee pots. And one coffee pot was for food, one coffee pot was for paying the bills, certain bills, right? And she always put a little bit extra than she thought she would need for like the mortgage. That way she was able to pay the mortgage on tight months when she didn't make as much because she was a waitress. And it got me thinking, like, we need to sit down and have some type of structure that we both agree to, so that our interests are aligned, that we focus on the right things. And so I kind of wanted to break down what that looks like. So I have a couple different businesses and a couple different revenue sources, and I also have different investments that generate money. So all of the investment money that generates money, I reinvest all of it. And for the two companies that are generating profits for us right now, I take a percentage of all the sales, all the income that's coming in, and put it towards a profits account. Those profits are then distributed to different investments, and it's our future, right? It's our it's what keeps me happy, right?
Yes.
It's what puts peace in my soul that I'm going to be able to contribute and bless people's lives. This YouTube channel is just an example of one of the things that we're doing with that money and being able to give back. But then we take a fixed income. So between the two businesses, I write myself a paycheck every single month, and then we decide how we want to distribute that money. And so I'll let Karen tell you guys how we distribute that money.
Okay, so after we pay taxes,
which is 20%,
which
right?
is 20%, we pay taxes every paycheck.
Yep.
We donate 10% to charity. we both choose a cause that we believe in. We talk before we donate this money to anyone. And then we have tomorrow money.
Tomorrow money can go towards whatever type of investments or saving for future expenses like a house or a pool or whatever we want to
Or
buy.
a future baby. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Uh, we're good. And then, so right now we're just paying down our house with that future money.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the unexpected expenses account, which is for unexpected. Like the other month, we needed tires for both cars, and that was really expensive. And it was nice to have
We
some
got
money. Yeah.
2 tires ruined on 2 different vehicles, and then they were just to the point where we might as well just replace them all. And
Yeah, we waited
expensive.
too long. And then vacation savings account, because it's very important to me and to Zach to have vacation money to just go have a vacation with our kids. And if I want to go to Brazil too, because my family lives in Brazil, so it's nice to always have that money. And then each of us get 5% of the full amount to ourselves. It's an amount that we don't have to talk to each other if we want things, which is really nice. It gives us both freedom, and yeah. So all these accounts that I just said, they are about 67% of the full amount that we get every month. And then with the leftover of that money, the other 33%, we pay our mortgage. We do whatever we agree on. I mean, obviously all the expenses.
yeah, just random bills.
Just gas, electric, all the bills.
Yeah.
And then whatever's left over of that, we decide what to do. And
Yep.
we
That money's not allowed to be spent unless we both agree
unless
to it.
we talk to each
Yeah.
other about it. And that's the money we use when we go to movies and we take the kids out, things like that, day-to-day things.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, for you guys that are listening, it doesn't necessarily matter what accounts you open or how you structure this, but if you want to use the principle that I learned from the book Profits First and have, your different coffee pots, we use savings accounts instead of coffee pots, to be able to organize and distribute and then come to an agreement on how that money's spent. Then there's no longer that frustration between us of, hey, there's money, let's just spend it. We understand what it needs to be spent on, and if Karen has certain expenses that she wants to spend, she has her own money, and
Yeah.
I have my own money. And the funny thing is I actually get to spend more than I ever did before.
me too.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's because
interesting.
there's way more discipline that's involved, and I heard something one time that says whatever you measure grows, and so just by measuring and organizing our money, it seems like it goes so much further. And so hopefully you guys find this helpful. If you did, let us know. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you put it in the comment box. Give us a like. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next video.